Hey, good afternoon, fam. Good afternoon. Hope all is well with everybody. Hope all is well with everybody. Listen, I know it's been a minute since I did a video. I'm working on a surprise project. So it's taking a lot of my time right now. But once it launches, you guys will be the first one to know. So listen, I want to do this video right because I don't know. I guess it is true that people maybe just don't know, or there's such a lack of information out there, or maybe people are just not searching for the right information. Because for the life of me, I still don't understand why people contribute to their 401ks, right? Because it's so many time bombs with that particular vehicle. Like relatively speaking, I think I can understand maybe the only one real thing I could see as to the reason why people contribute to that 401k. It might be a discipline thing, which means that, listen, I don't want this money to come to my hand because I'm going to spend it. So I'd rather it come out directly out of my paycheck. So that way I don't see it, right? That's the only other way I can see why in 2025 people are still contributing, to their 401k. Because at the end of the day, to me, even, and I understand, company matches and things like that. If you're gonna contribute to it, only contribute to it up to whatever it is that they match. To be honest with you, do not go above that. Here's the reason why. We know for a fact that whatever happens to the market is going to dramatically affect your 401k. That's a fact. Okay. But more so, let's just say you had a perfect market for 30 years. A perfect market for 30 years. You know who's in the back end waiting to collect half of that money? Your silent partner, the IRS. So when I hear people tell me, oh, I'd rather contribute to my 401k, I got a 401k at my job, I'm good, and things like that, right? I'm like, so what you're telling me is you're okay with, at the very end of it all, somebody coming in and taking 40% of your money, is what you're telling me here. I don't really I don't really think people realize what they're doing or what they're saying. To be honest with you, that this is my, because if I tell you, if you give me $100, 30 days from now, you're gonna end up losing 50% of that. So if you give me $100 to hold for you, to save, and I tell you when you come to collect, okay, let's say let's be nice. Let's say the 100,000 grew to, I mean the $100 grew to $200. Okay. 30 days later, when you come collect, you're only getting $100. Now you might look at it and say, well, at least I get the money I put in back. Okay. Okay. I understand that. But is that gonna be enough money for you to survive off of? The purpose of investing is to grow money so you can have more of it later, to live a lifestyle that you choose to live. That's the purpose of investing. And I tell people, if I can show you a vehicle that will allow you to have the best of both worlds, which means I can invest in something, save the money over time. I don't have to worry about a stock market up and down because I'm protected by the floor, which means if the market goes down, I cannot go below a certain floor. Typically, most of the time, you cannot go below 1%. So that means you will never go in the negative. And at the same time, when the market goes up, you can still participate in the growth of the market up to a cap. But ultimately, ultimately, at the end of it all, with all your growth, and you start to pull out income stream, you pay zero taxes. Zero taxes. Why would you not? I'm gonna give you an example. You from age, let's say you started saving money, let's say from age 30 all the way to age 65. Okay? You accumulate 500,000, for example. Now, you now want to start pulling out income. Every time you pull out income stream, you're gonna pay 35 to 47% in taxes. That's federal and state. That's your 401k. That's your 403b. Compared to if you had a index universal life policy, which essentially does the same thing. I put money away for the long haul. I'm protected by the floor. If the market goes down, I don't lose anything. But if the market goes up, I gain. And then ultimately, when I start to pull out money for income, I pay zero taxes. So instead of me in the 401k sense, instead of me, I save $500,000, I end up losing $250K to taxes. That leaves me with $250K to try to survive off of. Compared to the life insurance side, where I end up keeping $500,000, all of it, to myself. Just a quick question. Who do you think will have a better lifestyle? The person who just lost $250K, or the person who have lost nothing and get to keep their whole $500,000? And this is what I go through every single day when I meet with clients, and I'm still surprised till today that people are still invested in these 401k, and they max funding it too. I've heard people say, "Oh, are you maxing out your 401k?" I'm like, who in the hell would give that advice? That's crazy. That person has no idea what they're talking about. I even heard, and I'm not gonna say the person's name, but he's a well-known YouTuber. Okay, his YouTube is more based on hip hop, and he interviews a lot of people in hip hop. And this gentleman had interviewed Grant Cardone, right? And he was talking about how he invests his money in his 401k and how he won't pay taxes. And Grant Cardone is arguing with him like, "Yes, you are." He's like, "No, I'm not. I'm not gonna pay taxes." He's like, "Yes, you are." This is how on and this is a person who's a multi-millionaire. This is an individual who's a multi-millionaire who's arguing with Grant Cardone, who's also a multi-millionaire. So this person didn't know or information that could be detrimental to him later on in the future, which to me is crazy. And that's a lot of people out here who are working their butts off and doing the right thing and putting money away for the future to later on find out that they don't have any. I'm dealing with a lot of retirees right now. Who are retiring, and all of a sudden now they have an awakening. Because now it's real. You understand? Now I'm forced to not work anymore. I gotta survive. And you're now telling me that the IRA is gonna get 50% of this money? Yo! Listen. So this is the drama is the word that a lot of people are going. You got 10,000 people who are retiring a day. 10,000. And over 70% of them are finding this out when they're retiring. That all the money in their retirement account is not. I read an article about a few months ago, or yeah, about a month ago, I believe, about a gentleman. I believe him and his wife have about $5 million saved up, and he's asking, and he's saying that he's afraid to retire because he don't think the money will last him and his wife. And I had to ask myself, why will $5 million not last you? Then I said, got it. He's probably invested in a taxable account. It's probably a 401k. So he knows $2.5 million of that is gone to the IRS. $2.5 million of that is going to the IRS. That leaves him and his wife $2.5 million to survive off of. And we don't know if they still have a mortgage. We don't know what kind of lifestyle that they've had in the past. So I can understand the fear. But if he had that money in an index universal life policy, his life will be golden. So listen, if you're watching this and you are invested in a 401k, you don't really know how it works. You want to look at other options. Because let me tell you something, I've been in business now for 16 years. And I don't know, maybe because I'm getting older, I'm reaching more older people. Okay? People who are now retiring. And I'm seeing how real it is. See, when I first started, I was in my late 20s, right? And I didn't see too much people in their 50s and 60s. I just didn't. Most of my clients were in their 20s and their early 30s. So retirement wasn't a thing. They just need life insurance, right? But now that I'm getting up there in age, right? And I'm seeing more and more people who are retiring. I'm seeing the fear in their eye. I'm seeing the anxiety. I'm seeing, I'm hearing this, oh my God, I wish I knew this. Oh my God, they're going to take, how? This is my retirement. I'm like, so nobody set you down to tell you this is what's going to happen later in this particular account. And most of them say, no, I didn't know. I just thought, some people still till today believe that this Social Security is not going to be taxed. Some people still to today believe that they're getting this Social Security tax-free. So, listen, if you're watching this and A, you don't have a retirement account, let's have a conversation. B, you do have a retirement account, but you're just now finding out that it's taxable and you want to make some adjustment. You can connect with me. Text me at 443-208-5480. That's 443-208-5480. Or you can go to my site, which is TitanEvolutionGroup.com. That's TitanEvolutionGroup.com. Or you can email me at evolve@TitanEvolutionGroup.com. But let me tell you this let me close with this. Because for some reason, a lot of people don't take this seriously. It's crazy. And maybe I take it seriously because I'm in the industry and I see what people are going through. I see people who anticipated and retiring at 60 and they're looking at their statement. There's a gentleman who I met about 2-3 weeks ago. We sat down to do a financial analysis. And he was like, man, I never thought I would be here. It was like, I plan on retiring at 60, but there's no way. The cost of everything is so high. I still have a mortgage, all these things. And I didn't save enough. I think when we looked at it, if I remember correctly, he had roughly about 580, 600K. Okay. The gentleman lives out in Upper Marlboro, Maryland in this nice house. And he's like, man, I may have to work 10 more years. That's 70 years old. That's 70 years old before he can retire. I don't know about you and me. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm sorry. But me personally, I don't know if trying to retire at 70 is a good look. I don't know. I don't know if that's the goal. You understand? Like, as a matter of fact, I would even tell people to aim to retire at 55. The earlier you retire, the longer you live. Because you know why? You can spend more time taking care of your body and your health. Your stress is also less, which can extend your life. Now, when somebody here is like, oh, nobody retired at 55, I know a lot of people who retire at 55. That's my goal also. But it comes with a different mindset. It comes with some strict, like, discipline. It's going to be a lot of things that you will have to do without. I'm sorry. Unless you're an individual who's making $1 million a year, $500K a year, and you can still live a great life and put away an astronomical amount of money every single year. But outside of that, if you're making $100,000 a year or less, listen, for you to get to a point, if let's say you're 35 years old or 30 years old and you will retire at 55, for you to get to a point where you're able to do that, a couple of things has to come into play. One, massive discipline. That's number one. Massive discipline. Number two, you got to invest in something that absolutely take no losses. This is not playtime. You got to invest in something that take no losses. Three, you got to invest in something that you don't have to pay any taxes on. Again, which kind of correlates to number two, no loss. So number two, when I say no loss, I mean stock market effect. Number three, no loss, taxes. Number four, you gotta do away with things that you just want. You can only do the things that you need. You understand? So you can't just say, oh, I want that Balenciaga. I want that Gucci, that Louis. Nah. These things will set you back. It's gotta be your needs, not your want. If you want to retire early and retire with multi-seven figure. Because if you retire at 55, for example, and you're a female, you're probably going to live for almost another 40 years. I'm sorry, is that right? 55? Yeah, you might live for like another 32, 33 years. Because the average woman lives to age 87, 89. Right? The average male age 82, 85. So whatever you're saving, it's got to be enough to last you for almost 40 years. Most of y'all haven't even worked that long. So this is why I say aggressive discipline has to come into play. I started my aggressive discipline because, again, based on the fact that I'm seeing more and more people now who are of their age, it's made me nervous. It's made me look at time differently. So I started my aggressive discipline in 2023. And then I increased my contribution in 2023. And I increased it again in 2024. I'm going to increase it hopefully because I think, I may be getting some raise sometime this year or so. We'll see how that goes. Once that happens, I'm going to increase by another 10%. So in just my deferred comp plan, I'm currently doing 30% contribution. I want to take it to 40% next year, which is almost half my pay coming out and going towards long-term plan. and then I'm going to increase my IUL to about $3,000 a month. Why still trying to lower? Like, I'm over here right now as we're speaking. I'm over here right now. I did this about a few days ago, trying to see which car I'm paying off first in the next few months. Okay, out of 3 cars, okay, I'm gonna see which one I'm paying off first. Boom, that's gone. Okay, that leaves me with an extra between insurance and the payment. Okay, because once I pay it off, okay, my insurance should go down a few months later, so somewhere around there. But just let's move that to the side. Let's just use the car note itself. That's about an extra $1,000 a month that I can now start to put away for emergency fund. Okay, then maybe about a year later, I pay off the other car. Okay, that's another $1,200 a month right there. I'm actively, consciously making decisions to get to my end game, to my goal of 55 and retirement. Because I'm probably going to need about $2 to $3 million to live my same lifestyle, do the things that I want to do all the way to my 90s. And I say 90s because my grandparents on both sides were in their 90s when they passed away. So I can only assume. and my mom, if you look at her, she's in her 60s. The way she looked and the way she walked and the strength she still have, she gonna be here forever. she gonna be here forever. So at the end of the day, like I can assume, because I go to the gym, I work out, I try to eat well, I stopped drinking alcohol like that. Probably last year, I consume a lot of water. I try to watch everything I'm intaking. Yeah. So I got a plan for a longer life, unless God say otherwise. Outside of that, I can only control what I can control, right? So, if you're watching this and you haven't started to take this seriously, this might be your moment. This might be your come to Jesus moment with your finances and your future. Listen, guys, outside of that, I hope you guys have a wonderful and blessed, amazing weekend. Please be safe out there this holiday weekend. Don't drink and drive. Call a Uber, call a Lyft. Have a friend drive you. But just be safe and make it home to your family. If you are out there right now and you're enjoying your southern holiday and you don't have any life insurance, please, you're taking a risk in your family. Okay, I'm gonna have my number in the description, my contact information. If you don't have any life insurance, text me and let's sit down and see what we can do. You guys have a wonderful and blessed rest of your day. Talk to you soon.